6:34. So we can call this meeting regular scheduled meeting for Merrimack Conservation Commission, April 16th, to order. Public comment. I know what you're here for, Don. Do you have something you want us to talk to prior to the meeting? Are you just here for moral support?
You want me to lead off again?
Well, we have public comment, so if you have something about, to talk to real quick, we can.
Give you a piece of paper for you to sign.
Can I borrow your pen, too?
Would you mind passing that down to Mike? That has the full biodiversity plan and all the attachments and pictures.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Tim. I forgot, I was going to ask if you got it, and I didn't have a chance to look.
I tried to email it to you. Did you ever get it?
No.
Okay. It must have got lost because it was so big.
Yeah, I just found out my email's not working because my mailbox is full, so that's why I didn't respond to you today.
Okay.
Your email was one finally bounced and said, "Oh, you're not getting emails, by the way." I'm like, "Oh, great."
You want this back?
No, that's actually genius.
Go ahead, Don.
Yeah, they just did a little,
Yeah, make sure that light's on. There you go.
Yep, there you go.
Okay. The email you sent out Friday was very well put together, and I was wondering if you had a response from Matthew Flanders yet.
We've had a response from them that they are in receipt of it, and they are circulating it, and they're formulating a plan and going to get back to us with some action items.
Okay.
And that's all I've heard so far. But yes, they have gotten back to us. They got back to us later that day.
On Friday. Okay, good.
And as you saw, that went out to Tim Thompson, also here, and Paul McCauley, who also forwarded up to the town manager. So everyone's aware of what's going on.
Good. And again, I'd like to volunteer if there needs to be a point person with that construction crew or with Eversource rep to meet over there at the power lines where they intersect with the trails, where the ideal spot would be for signs. I think we're on the same page, but I might have more time flexibility.
Are you available during the day?
I am.
Okay. I will.
So feel free to give my name or my email address.
Okay.
I wouldn't mind helping out with that.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you.
On the second item, just as a follow-up, it was a week ago around this time that I was doing some hiking and did a walk around that Tower 113 area, and surprising to me, I found another dozen brass bullet casings. Mm-hmm. So, as I indicated to Cindy in an email, the good news is that I guess it's not Eversource subcontractors taking upon themselves to do things on their own time. But the bad news is we might have a local shooter that thinks it's okay to fire high-powered rounds in Horse Hill and specifically under those power lines down into the wetland area. Mm-hmm. What can be done about that? I've made Officer Sullivan aware that that has occurred again. He's the person that I followed up with after the last meeting where I had those rounds to show the committee here. I saw Officer Sullivan the next day. He indicated, being a mountain biker, that he would keep an eye and speak if he saw anything suspicious. At that particular time, we thought it might have something to do with those subcontractors. we're limited in terms of what we can do other than posting a guard there. I mean, the one thing we might be able to do is put a game camera up there that would go on upon activity if it's at a time period where there's no other activity. I mean, if the workers are there, the game camera would go off constantly. The other thing is
Hopefully.
on that banking overlooking the wetland below, it might be necessary for us to have some posting there indicating that shooting of high-powered weapons, or, I mean, anything other than a shotgun is not legally able to be used in Horse Hill. That's during hunting seasons. Even target shooting with a shotgun, to my knowledge, would not be legal. So it might be necessary to have the right language on a few signs posted there just to make whoever aware that this is not right.
Yep. And I'm going to have to apologize to everyone because Friday after I sent that email out, that's apparently about when my email stopped working. So I had taken we're supposed to report these up to the police department. I sent an email to Officer Tarleton. He has not received it because my email's not working. So I will get that straightened away and I will report that because that's something we are trying to keep a kind of a log on of when we find that activity and where it's going to happen.
Right.
So.
What I did do is I did follow up on Friday with a voicemail to Officer Sullivan. He had worked the midnight shift, or till midnight the night before.
Did you file an actual report, or is it just...
Didn't file a report because we didn't have any
right.
person to associate with what was going on. But if he listened to his voicemail, he'll be aware of what happened.
Okay.
And the only other thing that I wanted to bring up, and Matt, this is a continuation of what we were talking about at our meeting last week. It happened that Peter happened to come across a group that was coming into Horse Hill to do a bike demo, or maybe a bike skill event, and it was dealing with Live, which is a Giant product, and it was going to be a Concord bike shop coming to do it. So I guess from a subcommittee individual, I'm not sure what is the proper protocol for any of our parks for outside commercial groups, in this case a bike shop from even out of town, coming in and having an event, and we don't find out about it unless we come across it on Facebook or on the NEMBA site or whatever. What's your thoughts on that? Excuse me?
Public property, we really can't tell people no. They're not, unless they're charging a fee and posting something up in a kiosk to advertise.
So is that different than how?
So time out for a sec. So
Yep.
commercial activities where a profit is being made or fee is being charged can't be done without permission of the landowner. Okay? And that's technically the town of Merrimack, which is the town council. So if they're doing something and they're charging a fee or they're taking sales of bicycles or products in any way, that requires permission. It's a vendor permit that's required.
And Live does not do that, so it's a
It's
property.
the monetary factor.
Right. And they don't charge for their.
But are the rules different at Wasserman?
No, all the rules are the same. If you're going to do a commercial activity, you have to get permission from the landowner if it's not your land. And we have a vendor permit, we have a town code that talks about vendors and how the vendors have to behave and what the process that they have to go through.
What I'm talking about is use of the town land, like,
Yeah.
Yeah, usually those groups come to us and let us know. I mean, we've had, bike demos and things like that in the past, and they've at least let us know so we can
But live
let the
is,
subcommittee know.
live is very different. It's all volunteer. There's no fee. It's like a group ride.
so if somebody wanted to have a softball family gathering at Wasserman, they could just first come, first serve, whoever grabs the field first?
Wasserman Park has park rules, and there's an application you have to do if you want to use the park for its dedicated purpose. We don't have those, so that's for all the parks. And per Chapter 142 lists all the parks in town.
Right.
And there's a process that has to be followed. We don't have anything like that for the conservation properties at this time. That's part of Chapter 111 and an update that we're looking at, and that'll be one of the things that we look at, so.
Okay.
So.
Might be something to consider. We might get caught someday with a large event that people didn't see coming, and all of a sudden we're stuck with a large event that.
Yeah, but also people who, if someone pulls off a large event, there's no expectation that they have exclusive use of the parking lot or anything like that. Anyone that can, at this point, can show up and utilize the services just like anyone else. So.
Okay, that was it for me.
Yeah.
Thanks for your time.
Yeah.
Thanks, Don.
All right. We don't have any public hearings or appointments. Bruce, would you like to come up? I think I should have forwarded out his letter to everyone. Did everyone get it?
You did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Nice letter. You want me to sign this?
Yes, please,
Sure.
if you would sign in. The appointment, and if I may be mistaken, but I think all it is alternate
Yes.
position
Yeah.
open on the horse. Okay.
Yes.
We have an alternate spot open.
Yeah.
Yes. Actually, two.
Yeah.
So Bruce sent a nice letter out. You guys have all read it. Sent a letter out requesting to volunteer on Horse Hill Nature Preserve subcommittee. So if you'd like to just tell us why and what you're.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm Bruce Peterson. I live at 3 Elizabeth Drive in Merrimack. I've been here I've been over 30 years in Merrimack. And I've been using Horse Hill for pretty much that whole time. Running, walking, snowshoeing, now biking. Now we have good biking trails over there and good bikes to ride. And so I've loved the place. As a matter of fact, one of the reasons my wife and I probably stayed in Merrimack is because of Horse Hill. We're about a mile from it. I'm retired now. Now I have extra time, and so Don kind of got me interested, introduced me to the subcommittee and what they do, and it sounded like something I might want to spend some of my time with, volunteering and being part of the community. So I decided to get involved with that.
Excellent.
Great.
So the as you said, there's all that's left right now is a alternate position, and I just want obviously we always tell everyone don't worry about being an alternate position. You can be as involved as anybody else on that committee. It just comes down to sometimes when you have a vote, maybe you may not be the one voting that night, but certainly from the volunteerism side, we very much expressly appreciate people like yourself stepping up to do this. So, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. I look forward to getting involved and maybe getting involved with some of the biking activities that are going on over there, like building bridges or whatever. Now they have time to do that.
Yeah,
We appreciate the help.
Yeah, I was going to say, we'd like to hear that.
Stay in touch with Matt because there's as we said, there's quite a few other properties in town that have work to be done too. So
Yeah, I'd be more than happy. I love mountain biking, and put my name on your email list.
Yes, definitely.
no, I don't.
So I'm just curious, are you a member of any other groups or organizations that would be like-minded or whatever,
No?
Audubon or anything
yet.
like that?
No.
Okay. Just curious. Just one.
AMC,
AMC, yeah?
Or, yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Maine Island Trail Association, yeah. I haven't really done any work with them other than being a member of it, at MITA.
Yeah, just to see if there was anything we could we could
Leverage.
exploit or leverage, yes. If you have any connections.
No, minimal.
Yeah, it's okay, though. Just an honest interest is great, so
Yeah.
thank you.
And I have good eyes and now good ears with my hearing aids. And looking at the charge of the subcommittee, that's one of the things you want is eyes and ears for Horse Hill. And so,
Ah, he read the charge. I passed it out at our last meeting. He attended our last 2 meetings, so
Yeah.
he's read the. He read the.
Oh, good.
That's good.
Well, so we appoint or have to vote? We have to really vote?
We do.
We do. Okay. So,
Yep. So I make a motion to appoint Bruce Peterson to the Horse Hill Nature Preserve Subcommittee as an alternate. There's one that expires 7/31/18, so I'd like to propose the 3 years and 3 months so that his term would end July 31st, 2021.
Second?
okay. Any comments and questions? All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All right. Passes 6-0-0.
Yeah, right.
all right, well, thank you very much.
No,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Bruce.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
Too.
All right. Statutory and advisory business. I don't think we really have anything. I'm not sure where you want to speak to the website. I was assuming other business.
Or old business, yeah.
Old business, okay. New business, I don't know if this is really new business, but the seedling giveaway, we're going to be having it on May 12th at Courier Orchards. I think we've typically gone from like 9 to 1 or something like that as our typical timing. If that's going to be okay with everyone, I've spoken with Jeff, and he's on board, but he just wants the final timing and such, so 9 to 1, sounds good.
Sounds great.
Courier Orchards, Beasley Road, May 12th.
I will
So
put that
that'll
on the
get put on
calendar.
the website and.
We'll put it on the website. I
Get
gotta,
in.
I'm gonna use the same flyer I has used last year and the year before that and the year before that in case, unless someone would like to make a new one, but I'm just gonna change the seedlings on there and hey, it's ready for spring, you know?
And I started
It's coming
a
eventually.
Excel work paper like I did last year,
Oh,
but this year I'll give it to you beforehand. I don't know if I did the changes because I remember we made a few changes from the original list.
I have the list.
Okay.
I don't
send that
have it
to
off
me.
the top of my head, but I have the list.
Okay, but I'll share that with you, and you can say if you want something else added, or I can
Okay.
show you what I have.
I'm planning on picking him up on Saturday, April 28th, I think, is the only time I'm going to be able to do it, unless someone wants to go during the week. It's up in New Boston, at the Boscawen, up in the State Nursery. So, yeah, April 28th. Yeah, we'll see. I don't know.
Oh, well.
So-
And they'll store them for us for
Well,
the 2
yeah.
weeks.
Well, no,
Oh,
it depends on how well the team does, whether they're going to be in playoffs or not. So I'm planning on the April 28th because I don't know how deep into the playoffs they're going to go. Not the Bruins, someone else, different team. So, again, but yeah, we can pick them up sometime starting after Wednesday the 25th. So I'm going to try to get them on the 28th and get them over to Couriers, and they're going to put them back in there.
Pretty-
In their cooler there, so if anyone's got like a couple white buckets, that would be helpful. We seem to be scrambling every year looking for buckets around the orchard, so I figured might as well show up with our own this time.
Okay.
A couple
Yeah,
extra.
I've got 4 or 5.
Yeah,
Buckets.
So that sounds like between, if everyone got some a couple, then we'll have plenty. Not sure how many different varieties we got this year. You got the list? Is this this year's list?
I think so.
You want the buckets on the day of?
Yeah, we can
Okay,
coordinate that. I'm not too worried about that.
right. Well, I've got some travel right up before that, so.
Since the members of the subcommittee are here, oftentimes what we do with some of the seedlings that we give away is go to the, Horse Hill and plant some of them in areas where we're trying to reinvigorate growth of, some taller trees, maybe to, close those old decommission trails with some of these seedlings. Historically, we've done that and had some.
Instead of putting some of the limbs going horizontal,
Yeah.
you can put trees going vertical.
Exactly.
Vertical mulch. Vertical mulch.
Different type of seedlings, or are they just one type?
There's about 14.
We got 15 different varieties this year, so, and along with Matt said, regardless of where they get planted, there's a certain commitment to it because you're going to have to go back and water them for a little while. They need some TLC for a little while to make sure they start to actually take root. So, but
Do you want me to put something on the Facebook page?
yes,
or-
please.
Okay.
I will get the flyer. If I send you like a PDF, can you just post the flyer?
Sure.
Okay,
Um,
I'll get that done.
Is there like a limit of how many people can take? I can't remember.
We've always just reserved the right to limit.
Okay.
When you have people walk in, we've had developers walk in and want taking handfuls of things. I'm like, no,
Right.
That's not what this is for.
this is not what this is for. We'd like people to come in and plant things around their yard, plant things around wherever, but
Do they have to show Merrimack ID or? No. Okay.
no,
All right.
we try to. It's for Merrimack residents. I mean, obviously we can't really kick people out.
Yeah.
So
Gotcha.
it's Merrimack residents
Okay.
only. Okay, that's old business. The follow-up on discussion regarding ARM funding for the Grater Road bypass. Did we have anything we wanted to keep that on here?
I gave everybody, this is our latest draft. So we passed this out, and Mike, Tim, and I met a week ago Friday. We came up with this. We're waiting for Dawn to get the budget information to us. I should follow up with her.
Yeah,
Okay.
So,
be good.
well, like, should probably have it out by a week from today, right?
Yep.
It's,
Yeah, so it's due the 30th. We should plan to be done by a week from today, so we have enough time to get it there.
yeah.
So I was wondering, do you want to meet again this Friday?
This Friday. This Friday is, okay.
Can we make it as late as possible?
Sure, we can, yeah.
Yeah.
What's as late as possible?
11
What time?
p.m.
What time?
Mike wants to wait till the bar's open.
What time is does the town close at 4:30 or 4?
Probably 4:30, yeah.
So what's as late as possible would be 3?
Yeah,
Is that all right?
3?
yep.
Well, I need to call and see if she's free anyway. I mean, if the room isn't free, then maybe we can meet somewhere else.
We could even meet here. You could ask, right, we just have to ask Sharon if she can see if this room's been reserved, right?
So I know the three of you guys are obviously input to this, so the three of us, if we've got anything to say, now, get it to them promptly.
It's very rough. I had really hoped to have some time, but something happened over the weekend and my plans got changed, so I can talk about it offline. But
Is there anything you need me to do?
so we need to add probably a third more to the verbiage just to explain the benefits of why this is, but it's really a matter of coming up with a proposed budget and then a good depiction or drawing, and that's kind of what Don has signed up to do for us.
Yeah.
So, sorry to long answer to a short question, but yeah. So what I would like though is either consensus or a vote of the commission that says when we've got it done, that it's done, and we can move forward without bringing it back here for approval.
Yeah,
Yes, absolutely.
because we have a deadline.
Yeah. All right. If you
I'm not worried about voting on that. That's absolutely,
Okay.
the charge. You guys are writing it. And
okay. I mean, we'll certainly try to get it out there soon enough so you can all provide some input. I wouldn't expect to see an electronic draft that you could review until Saturday at the earliest, right? So, but yeah, I certainly want you all to be aware. Whatever gets submitted, obviously you'll get a chance to have a copy of and everything. But I'd be curious to see where Don is at with budget, because if not, we're going to have to put something together. I don't think we have to be down to the dollar. I think they're really looking for a range so they can figure out if they think this is a viable project. They'll give us some feedback as to what more detail we need to provide. I mean, this first round I don't think is an automatic no. I think it's an opportunity for them to know what kind of projects are coming, what potential monies are involved, and then provide feedback to the different proposers as to how they could improve their possibilities, or say, hey, no, this project really doesn't fit the thing. So we need enough detail so that we don't get filtered out first as, no, this project doesn't fit. But I think everything we've seen so far says it fits. Fits enough for consideration. So, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Lori Summer even replied to a quick email from Mike to give us a basic indication that it might be in the right line of things. So,
Is the section here that's highlighted, is this where you're looking for information still? That's the bold?
yeah, that and then we just need to clean up the words because we were kind of editing on the fly in a meeting, you might say. Yeah, so where it says create language to describe the beaver pond and why it's important, that needs to be added.
Okay.
So.
Should I also ask Dawn about she was going to do an overlay on the map. Should I ask her about that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Be great.
Yeah, because the short piece section we have now isn't enough. So,
Because we only can send 2 things.
I mean,
Gotcha.
the way it
Alright.
looks right now, it looks like that we'll be seeking approval, and funding approval won't come to this fall. So this would be a project we probably wouldn't actually get to until 2019.
When
Not unless we could do it, late, very late in the fall before winter.
Yeah.
I mean, that might be a possibility as well, but that also tends to be the wettest season in November, so we'll see.
the after the pre-proposal phase, it gets accepted and we have to do a proposal, then a lot more detail has
Yeah.
to be provided. Is that like August or something?
Yeah, I think it's the end of August that's due. Yeah. So,
Because even, just getting this done is it's one of these things that we've talked about forever, is having shelf-ready projects. If we can get it down to a point where we've got a
Yeah.
good project, there's no reason you can't resubmit this again if
Right.
it doesn't get approved.
Yeah, they just have twice as much money this year.
Right.
yeah.
So,
So twice
And
as
wanna
much
do it
impetus
this year.
to select twice as many projects.
right.
So,
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah,
which is good.
and we could also shoot for Moose Grant funding if this doesn't work or whatever else
Yeah.
too, so.
I like to play on words, shoot moose, that's good.
okay.
She's gonna kick me from over there.
All right. So I'll email you and let you know which room we're going to be meeting in.
Okay. Thank you guys very much for getting this together. All right. Other business, or old business. You want to continue on with old business for the?
Yeah, I'm sorry,
Nope.
I didn't get something out to you to get it on the agenda, but as we discussed at our last meeting, we need to renew our website contract. We have a new copy for this that's effective for this year. It's the exact same terms as the last year, which is what I thought it was going to be, which is what I believe I told all of you.
Yep.
So I would move that we accept the contract with Weatherby Creative for the following year, for this year starting, what is it? April 2nd, 2018. Effective for 4 quarters, ending at the end of March of next year, and authorize Chairman Perry to sign on behalf of the Conservation Commission.
Second.
Did we want to put an amount on that?
So yes, we do. So you're right. So this total cost would be $1,040 to come from Fund 53.
You still second it?
Still second.
Okay. Matt seconds that. Do we have any other comments and questions? All good with it? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Passes 6-0-0.
Good. Thank you, Tim.
I think it also notes being said that they've done a great job for us. I
Yeah.
mean, the website is, I go to the roast meetings and everybody else is kind of jealous of our website. For a conservation commission to have a website as advanced as it is, especially now with the rolling photos, and the ability to do the website's better than we are, frankly. It has subcommittee pages with nothing on it. You know, like there's more available that we don't even use.
That's
so
right, yeah.
We need to do a better job and have the subcommittees do a better job of filling up what's there for us.
Yeah. Yeah, and soon we're going to have project pages of completed and ready to go projects, so we'll have to start filling that
Need an
data in. So.
Yeah, right.
Bam.
We do. We need an intern. We could pay an intern if we could get the town to bill us for an intern. So the town takes all the liability and we just shell out the money.
Okay.
It would be great to have one of those, you know, young people that knows how to use
Yeah.
a website.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could keep someone busy all summer.
Okay. Keep that in mind.
Yep.
Come across people looking for new things. Okay. Subcommittee updates. I'm sorry. Any more old business?
Scalar. So, on the Scalar cleanup, I've been
June 2nd, we said, right?
June 2nd, yeah. Tentative. I've been communicating with Kyle and they're concerned about money, who's going to pay for it. And I think you saw the email.
Mm-hmm.
I said that we were hoping the town was going to pay for it. I since asked him if he wanted to have a meeting with the town manager, with Eileen. Would that be the proper channel to go through to try to get the town to pay for it? Yeah.
I would think so. I mean,
Yeah.
Kyle ultimately works for her.
Yeah.
So.
But I have not heard back from him yet.
Okay.
So,
This is not a slow time for DPW.
yeah,
You know, right now they've got lots of repairs going on in the spring, so
yeah.
you may have
And
to.
plowing.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a plow went by
Plowing
today.
and sanding. You may have to keep pinging them a little bit.
Yeah, I'll keep
getting
on
attention,
him.
yeah.
I didn't copy you on the last one because I was just like hounding him
So
basically.
that I wasn't able to respond anyway. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he is good about getting back to you. So
Yeah.
if you're not up on his radar right now, he's probably knee deep. So.
Yeah, well, let them know we have volunteers.
Yes, I did. Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, obviously, and I don't know how much he was involved with the cleanup of the shooting pit. Was he involved in that coordination?
Well,
at all?
it was his people.
His people, I know, but I don't know if he was really involved in that coordination.
Yeah, I
I
don't.
don't think so. I
It
think we
might
went
be-
directly to.
Yeah, it might be worthwhile just to.
And
Is he aware of how we did clean the shooting
I
pit?
mentioned it in that email and how well that worked out.
Okay.
And I mean, another thing that's going to probably cost the town money is all those tires and stuff going
Yeah.
to the dump. So that the landfill will have to know about that.
Yeah, they all work for him.
Yeah. All right.
So,
That's it.
okay. Cool. Thank you, Mike.
Mhm.
Anything else? Old business? No? Good. All right.
Get home and see that hockey game.
The subcommittee updates. Do we have any?
Horse Hill had a meeting a week ago tonight. So I passed out the maps that you gave us, the large ones, to make changes, and it was just noted that before, well, not the very next printing, but the one after that probably, that we'll have to add the new trail and take off the one that we're going to close, you know.
Okay. You have a big map now. You can mark it right up.
Yes, I gave them to everybody.
And I know I have an action item to get pricing on that. That's one of the things I was kind of surprised he hadn't gotten back to me yet, and I found out that my emails aren't going out. So
Oh, okay, right, for the
I
new map.
still have an action item for you.
Okay, that's
For you.
And then we just talked about, like Dawn said, about finding out about events. And actually, Peter did contact the person organizing the bike ride and kind of said the trails are not great right now because of mud. So they're going to go to another property and just come to Horse Hill at a better time, you know.
Another property here in town or another property?
Bear Brook?
Okay.
Is that in Raymond, I think?
Allenstown.
Oh, Allenstown, okay. Yeah, I think it was Bear Brook that they were going to. And then they'll come back to Horse Hill.
Because it's probably not mud season in Allenstown.
I don't know.
Worse there.
I know, that's
Uh-oh.
to say, that's to say, this is a tough time of
I
year to be
think
planning
it was
a bike ride.
Fairbrook.
Yeah,
It's a tough time of year to be
Maybe
planning a bike
it's
ride,
mud
but
season
Yeah.
everywhere. So.
Right.
It's mud season in New England.
Exactly. And then obviously we talked about the Eversource project, but Dawn already updated everybody on that. And I think that was it. Yep. It's a quick meeting.
Can I ask how's the brook or access around the Bradish Bridge? How was that? Any activity yet this spring?
It's flowing pretty good.
Yeah.
Hasn't flooded the trail.
Yeah. Okay.
Bradish Bridge is the name of a bridge at Horse Hill.
Well, it's how we refer to it as. It was the scout who installed it was Luke Bradish. So it's how I refer to it. I don't know if that's how everyone refers to it, but.
And I know what you mean when you say it.
Yeah, right. Well, right. I think that's the official name. That's where the beavers were. There's actually multiple ponds,
yeah.
ponding, but that we had it flooded. Was that last winter? A year ago winter? And so there's kind of a little detour now, but it's now the new one. But I think it's good.
Anything
Wildcat
from
Falls.
Wildcat Falls, go ahead.
Wildcat Falls, we had to postpone our meeting last week, so the rescheduled date is for Thursday, April 26th at 6:30, right here in the Memorial Room. Thank you, the gravel was delivered.
Good.
And Karen, Andrew, and I went out and we raked it out on the area, but we were not up to task for moving that picnic table between the three of us.
Okay.
So we will get that picnic table moved at some point. Hopefully when Liz gets back, maybe her and I can do it, but.
How's the parking lot itself? Is it pretty?
Going into the parking lot, it's really rutted.
Yeah.
Once you get in it, I don't know, I was too busy playing with all of our dog supervisors by the time that I actually got into it, so I didn't pay much attention to it. We had some wonderful canine supervisors who were raking that gravel out, so. As soon as I got in there, it was like, puppies! But going in, it's very, very rutted.
Yeah.
So you saw their response. They're going to look at some of the reground and see if there's some available, and if they can do the same thing there that
Yep.
they've done some of the other parking lots. So
Yeah, and I'm sure that they are aware of it, because you can't get into that parking lot without
Yeah.
some serious bobbleheading, so. Anyway, but it is in, so we do appreciate your help and the DPW's help in getting that gravel in, and it's all raked out, and at some point we will get that picnic table. I mean, all of this rain actually is good, because now it's settling that gravel down.
Yep.
As one of our canine helpers decided that she was going to have a good roll in the gravel, so
Was there enough?
it was plenty.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it was actually exactly enough.
Yeah.
Aren't you glad you didn't get 5 yards?
Well, even the one, because I posted.
It's a lot.
Yeah,
It doesn't sound like a lot, but it's a lot.
well, I posted something on the Merrimack Outdoors page to see if anyone wanted to come and help, and of course, 0 people came to help. So it was like, okay, so.
They like to complain on that. but
Huh?
Not the helping's not really that much there.
Well, people very studiously ignored my post too. One person liked it, and that was about it. So,
Wow.
but Andrew, and Karen and I, we are not, we're not 30. So, for us to be out there moving gravel and moving a picnic table is not going to happen. So,
Maybe we need to do a positive Merrimack Outdoors forum. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
good, because I'm not going to admin any of the Facebook pages for the town. That's not happening. But anyway, so yes, so again, there will be a Wildcat Falls meeting here on Thursday, April 26th, and anyone is welcome.
Okay. Thank you.
Greater Woods, we haven't had a meeting, but we did go out and install 5 new bridges, areas that had been wet in past years, and
5?
yeah,
Where?
2 on Silverfish, 1 on
Oh, so they're relatively.
Salamander.
Are they single track bridges?
Yes,
Yeah.
narrower bridges.
Yeah.
In fact, one also on Grater Road, where there had previously been one and it just decayed.
Okay.
One of the places that needs a culvert between the
Oh,
Amherst and
That little, yeah.
two
They go
plank.
around the puddle?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, I saw that.
Just, there'd been people going through, you could tell people had been going through and trying to jump over if they're hiking.
That's handy.
And yeah, it just makes it a lot easier.
I saw that little bench in
Yes.
Silverfish with that little heart or something.
Yep. I don't know who put the bench up. I know who put the heart up, though.
All right. Do you know when the next meeting is? You got it top of your head? It's is it?
I think it's next month. I think it's, I'm sorry, I think it's June.
June. Yeah, okay. All right. Any other business? Anyone want to go do the minutes?
Okay.
Cindy?
Make a motion to approve the Merrimack Conservation Commission minutes for April 2nd, 2018, with changes as follows.
Second.
Cindy? Thank you, Gina.
Do we want, on page 1, where are we? Line 16, members of the commission absent Councilor Jackie Flood, but she quit. So do we still want to keep her on here for this meeting, or?
I think for
She-
that meeting.
She's
That time
not
she was.
She's still technically,
on the town council?
Since until the election, right?
up
She
until the
was.
election, right?
Okay,
Right.
all right, so we'll leave her on. On page 1, line 29, do not enter, so let's move the end quote from after sign to after enter. So it should be a do not enter
Oh, do
quote
enter sign. Yep,
sign.
missed that one.
Okay. I thought I had one more. I do. On page 4, line 28 and line 29, council should be COUNCIO.
Good catch.
So that's in 2 places, so that's on line 28 and 29. And then just a question on page 4, line 37. We're talking about the Eagle Scout project for the fitness trail. Did we specify if that was on the Wasserman property or which property that was on? We just said fitness trail.
It's the only fitness trail, so.
The Wasserman Conservation Area, yeah.
All right, so I don't know if we want to put that on, but Sharon did a great job. I know these minutes are hard to do.
Okay. That was my only catch in the whole thing was, is fitness trail supposed to be, that's the name of the trail.
Oh, to capitalize it?
Proper name, right?
Okay, so there you go, so
Fitness trail?
should be
Yeah.
capitalized.
All right.
And I just have to, on same page 4, on row 36, the commission was in agreement. Just change
Ah,
and to in.
Good. Good.
So is Sharon doing our minutes all the time now?
I don't know.
Yeah, okay.
I think Dawn and Sharon are doing them, so.
Okay.
Dawn is back,
Yeah, okay.
so she's,
Okay.
I'm not sure exactly who's gonna be doing them, but
Yeah.
They both do an excellent job.
Yeah.
Minutes
Yes.
are really hard to do, especially from a tape, so I give them both huge thanks.
Yeah.
Definitely.
They are hard to do.
they're probably enjoying these short meetings as much as we are.
Yeah, right.
They do. I'm sure they do.
All
Okay.
right, so any other comments and questions on the minutes? All right, all those in favor?
Right?
All right, passes.
Oh,
Yeah, abstain.
Oh, okay, 501. Mike Bouvier is going to abstain. You can vote on them. You can
I
accept
read
them.
them, yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Well, that's fine. It's fine. It's not a big deal. There's nothing stopping you from doing it.
sorry, that was a
All right.
Jody.
Any other public comments, gentlemen? No?
Real quick,
Please.
something that I read in the charge for the subcommittee, Horse Hill Nature Preserve Subcommittee, and it mentioned the Merrimack Village District in there. And I was just wondering, do they have wells over on that property, or do they work on that property at all?
Village district is in the charge?
And it just talked about different organizations like the town council,
Or to coordinate, yeah.
to coordinate activities or whatever, and I was just curious as to why their name was on there as a organization.
Don't have any wells.
Questions raised by fellow subcommittee of towns, school district, Merrimack Village District. And I was just curious as to,
I think it would maybe just been us,
just trying to cover everybody in
just
in
covering everybody,
town.
because it's
Okay.
probably that same language on all the
Yeah,
maps.
okay. Just
We
curious
can
if
we'll go through and look at that, though. But
Yeah.
they don't have any activities on the property then.
No, not at this time, so.
Okay,
They
thanks.
currently have an activity in Greater Woods, but
Yeah, in Mitchell Woods, but
Yeah.
not on that property, yep.
and could possibly use Greater Woods as a sampling site or test site or
I mean, Horse Hill,
redundancy site. What did I say?
Greater Woods.
Oh, yeah.
I know you meant.
Horse Hill.
Or so, as a potential site for a well, I mean, or
Well,
just the
Who
quality
knows?
of the water?
So they're drilling a new well in Mitchell Woods, and within a certain area of it, they need a similar wetland as a standard.
Oh, okay.
That similar wetland happens to be in Greater Woods, so that's their test case that they're going to monitor as they drill on the other side. So that type of work could happen on any of the properties.
Yeah, okay, thanks.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, Commissioner comments.
I put my jacket on.
Mike, you have
No
any-
comment.
Cindy? Matt?
Just quickly, I got an email and attended a staff meeting with the town manager and her staff, and discussed Chapter 111 process update with them. They asked a few questions. Eileen asked for all the department heads to provide any written comments or concerns, which I didn't really get a whole lot of, as well as what each one of those department heads thought they could contribute to the project. She's going to assemble all that data so we can bring it back to the town council, and but I believe the project will be going forward with a recommendation from the town manager to move forward, probably in the early May timeframe. So to the town council, which has to give their process approval, which is what we asked them to do.
So we have that list of properties.
Yeah.
Do you need the deeds and such? I mean, have we got that list to Sharon?
So
She's gonna start looking those up when you say go.
yeah, so we're not yet.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So the other thing that came out of it that was noteworthy is the director for the library had said that they have a research librarian, and doing research, digging out documents, finding things is right up their alley, and it's something that they might be able to assist us in doing, digging out pieces and documentation. She also brought up the whole idea of, you get all this data, now what are you going to do with it? And we had a good discussion as to potential places, how we manage all of this. She spoke about how big data works. I don't know if any of you are familiar with that, but she gave examples of, like, you can be on Google and you could be driving and say all the restaurants that are near me. Maybe we want to have a feature that says, hey, what are all the hiking places that are near me? Because I'm right here, right now in the town of Merrimack, and other ways to utilize it. I did speak of what NRPC's done for us, and they came up as an option. Kyle brought up the GIS system, probably should have a lot of this data, because that way they could click on a parcel and they could bring up all kinds of information and have it available. I explained to him that we have data ready to go into the GIS when he's ready, because we have Beaver and all that other stuff, activity that's ready to go in there, and he acknowledged. So it was a good discussion. I actually forgot to bring up that whole concept, because Gage and I have spoke about it more than once. As we collect all this data, we have it all. Why should we have to go digging for it again? I said it shouldn't, and then I said we really should not manage this in an Excel spreadsheet. I said that's just not the way you do things today. And the director for the library was all over that. She gave a lot of good examples. I think there was a lot of people in the room that had no idea that how to manage and do knowledge management and all that. And I mean, by no means an expert, but at least I understand the terms, because I deal with it in my own work activities as well. So we might be more creative, and there might be some options there as well. So I certainly want to exploit what the library could do for us. I'm hoping that she completely raised her hand to the town manager and said this is exactly what we could do, but she seemed pretty excited about helping out, so,
It's great.
yeah. She said,
Awesome.
so we'll see how that plays out, so.
Great.
All right,
Thank you.
yep.
So, you done?
Yep.
Okay. So, real quick, Watkins Forest, we're gonna have to do something this year. There's 6 of them parading right down the stream.
What did you say?
Watkins Forest?
Beavers?
Watkins.
Yeah, 6 of them.
Oh, okay.
Yesterday, just swim right down the middle of the stream.
Slumping your tails again?
Yep, having a great time. They are busy. The stream's already backed up. I've only been able to get back there once, and it's pretty cold. And they're already at it. So we're gonna have to do something this year again.
Dynamite.
It doesn't help. It helps for like a day. That's it.
When you
So-
say do something, are you thinking of the something I think you're thinking of?
Yes. Yeah. It was exactly. It's not a favorable idea, and it's something that, but it works for 4 or 5 years.
4 or 5 years?
Yeah.
Hasn't it just been 1 year?
No,
No, not one.
we haven't trapped back there for it's been at least 3 years.
Are you gonna trap or are you gonna?
Well, we're not doing anything yet.
Not doing anything.
Okay, he's just suggesting that might have to come down to it again, because there's people's property involved here. It's not
No, I
just
understand that,
yeah.
but I'm
sewer
wondering if you're
septic
gonna
systems.
trap or shoot, so,
Either way, the outcome is the
It's pretty
same.
much the same.
is it?
Yeah.
The lucidity rate of moving them is very poor, and you have to move them to a location that's free of beaver,
Yeah.
which there's just
There
not.
aren't any.
They're just not.
Cindy and I are not happy about
I no, I'm not either. And if we could find a way, then that's the one. You look at who we've had in there to we've had Moosewood Ecological back there. We've had Beaver Solutions go back there. We've had the town back there. We've had a number of people back there surveying, and some.
No, I know.
So the lay of the land is such that it's just not going to lend itself to that type of work.
Yeah.
And there's not.
And I need Gage's help in Grater Woods.
Yeah.
And if he's behind his house breaking beaver dams down every single night,
Yeah.
he can't come help me in Grater Woods.
Last summer that was a lot of work last summer. I was living
For
back
nothing.
There. Yeah, I was living back there like 2 or 3 times a week
Jeez, yeah.
for a couple of hours.
So if anyone has any other ideas or has friends or people that they can speak to that can present alternatives, let's find out about it, okay?
Anybody want a pet beaver?
Pet beaver.
They really don't make good pets.
Yeah. They don't smell very nice.
I mean, this is, all the other alternatives have already been,
Yeah,
Well, who knows? I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
I mean, you can put the word out and say, hey, we're having a problem, and this is what we're doing. The terrain does not lend itself to beaver deceivers because it's too broad. The dams are way too big. You can't. It's not like it's in a valley where they just put a little chunk. They go a little further down the valley, they put a little chunk. This is like spans hundreds of feet long, and
Yeah, and it's flat lands. They build a dam that just starts flowing over here, so they build one over here. And it flows. It's
yeah, and people's septic systems are going to back up into their houses.
No, I get it.
So
I must sent you an article today because there's an angry badger that's terrorizing a castle in Scotland. I'm like, oh, an angry badger has made the national news, international news. So our angry beaver should make the news.
all right. That's my only comment.
Motion to adjourn?
second?
Motion by Matt, second by Mike. Any other comments, questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Passes 5-6-0-0 at 7:28.